Gelukkig het ek nou onthou. Julle moet my remind asseblief. Just if I don't say I'm not recording yet, then or don't say something about the recording, so herinner my asseblief. Okay, so I've just started the recording. So welcome to everybody that is joining us on the recording. Ek het my baie mooi. Wat noem mens nou weer die ding, Henry? Ons wat noem ek hierdie ding op my kop? Ons het ons nuwe bootcamp buff aan vanaand, so verskoon my dat ek nog sit in my bootcamp clothing. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and just go on to the presentation. Oh, why am I not finding it now again?
So, wil jy nie net almal mute nie, asseblief?
Not this one. Ek gaan nou vir almal mute. Mute all. Okay, so you can unmute yourself if you want to participate on the call. Thank you, everybody. And I'm going to share again. Let me see if I now get the right presentation to join me. No, okay, so what I'm going to do while I'm looking for my presentation, I'm going to ask Magda. I had a quick chat with her today. Magda, do you want to just speak to the people a little bit about what you do with the Wellness Evaluation, the questions you ask people up front? Maybe start with how you approach your wellness presentation with everybody, please.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Yes, I keep it very simple after these years still. Only when I meet someone, I'll ask the 4 short questions. I normally start with, do you skip any meals or breakfast specifically? Are you happy with your shape? How much water do you drink? And how's your energy level? Because I found those 4 questions actually covers quite a bit of the breakfast and the energy of that. So from there, I used.
Sorry, Magda, do you ask them, are you happy with your shape? With your shape?
Your shape.
Shake.
Body shape. No, the body shape, I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
And, sorry, must I show there? Yeah, I normally show this. Can you guys see? I normally just show the
Nog 'n bietjie laer. That's it.
Okay, are you happy with your shape? Because they want to visualize actually what they do there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not sharing my screen, but can I show what I do, Elsa? That will work.
Yeah.
So this that we've got, can you see that what we've got on the coaches?
Yeah.
So I've got my pitch book always with me. So one of the questions was then, how much water do you drink? And then I will explain to you just shortly, for your body weight, for instance, 60 kgs, you need 2 liters of water, because with every 30 kilos, you need 1 liter of water. And if you want to lose weight, that should actually be another liter, 3 liters for you then. And then quickly, then you can always see on the outside, about the fat and the muscle. Then I tell them that actually muscle burns more calories than fat. And sometimes, what's on the outside is in the inside. So don't go too much into that.
Is this now a wellness evaluation without a Tanita, without a scale?
Yes, sorry, without a Tanita. Yeah, I always start without the Tanita, because if you meet someone, you don't always have your scanner with you, or sort of on the spot, just want to put them on the scanner, just to get the conversation started. Okay. Then I will ask that 4 questions, and then really 2-liner about the water, the muscle, and the nutrition that they get. What are they eating daily? What protein snacks are they having? Because you got a better idea when you start talking to them. And if I then got time, I'll go to the scanner. But someone at the function, for instance, like Saturday night, I will just actually have this conversation, like 3-4 questions. And then the questions that I ask, I will talk about that, why the water is important, how much water, and then the nutrition that they're getting throughout the day. If they sort of skipping meals, then they need the shake and the energy levels and the thermo. So I always just concentrate on the healthy breakfast concept on that one.
Okay. And Magda, would you after the call just share with us on the group? There's 4 questions that you actually ask. Because people sometimes don't get it all, but it's always valuable afterwards to get those tips from everyone. Okay, sorry for interrupting.
Again, then even without the scanner, I'll always talk about the nutrition that we'll be getting in the breakfast. So that's that I just showed you, the shake, aloe, and tea, and the hydration that they need, the food, the energy, and that they get more nutrition in the shakes than they normally get in normal solid foods, because it's less in calories but higher nutrition, and solid foods is just the other way around. So that's why I keep two, this one that I use, as I say. And then the last one, then I will talk about the 3-day trial. So I just want to get to that. And is that fine? That is on the Dream Team, which is I printed, which is in my pitch book. And then just talk about, the fiber, the vitamins that they get, and how much calories as a woman they should consume. And then I can start with a Tanita scanner if I use that with them. Okay, so that is actually the basic. I'm just telling that they should, the protein, how much protein, it's 0.1 for the woman and so forth, and what snacking, and they should be eating protein 5 times a day. What is your good proteins? And I'll go to a little bit more if I do the wellness evaluation properly at a place where we can do that.
Okay, Magda, do you always go to the trial pack then, or do you have some people that you make a second appointment, or, when you're doing just the quick one?
Okay, not always on the spot that I get the 3-day trial. So when I get their attention, then I can make an appointment. So I can come to your place and do a full wellness evaluation, ask all the questions that wellness questionnaire that we've got. Then I will do that and do the 15-minute explanation of the BMI and the muscle mass and everything.
Okay. So now we have, you're now busy with somebody where you have the time to do the full scan.
Yes.
And what do you start with? Let's say, what is your step 1? Number 1. Okay, so you've now met the person, you've explained a little bit. What do you actually say to them to set up that appointment? What is your line that you give to the person to make that longer appointment, that they now not feel that they've had enough information to make a decision? What do you actually say to them? Why do they need another appointment?
Okay. Well, when I ask them those 4 questions and they say they're not happy with the shape or they lack energy, then I say to you, remember you said this to me, now would you be interested that I can change that for you and show you how to get started on something healthy that's going to cost you like 100 Rand just to get that started for you.
Okay.
So I'd use the questions that I answered yes to and said, okay, now you gave me this. Would you like to change this? Do you have 50 minutes that we can make an appointment to do this for you?
Okay, cool.
So I assume with that, they say to me they want to change that.
Yeah. Okay, now fabulous. So now you've got that person with you. You're sitting down with them. What is your step 1 in the process?
Okay, then I'd ask the question, that full questionnaire: what do you eat? How much do you spend on snacking? What do your plate look like at night? What do you snack in front of the TV? Not just what are you snacking, specifically, when is your snacking? Is it before the TV, or when do you snack, and what do you snack on? Because then from that you can actually formulate how much you're spending on extras, on nonsense, as I normally call it. Then you can, at the end, when you finish your presentation, actually say you can invest this in your health with better nutrition, and it only going to cost you 20 to 25 Rand a meal then. Okay.
Right.
So then I go to my pitch book. Sorry, my pitch book is downstairs now. The old pitch book also that we use. I go through, why do you have to have breakfast the first hour, your blood sugar, all the importance of that, what your body needs in the nutrition, what is excess and what is the deficiencies that you got. Go through the water. Then I put them in the scanner. After I've done the questionnaires, put them in the scanner. And then I go through, as I go through the numbers, then I will explain them in my pitch book what that numbers actually mean and what we need to change from them.
Okay.
And then at the end, of course, there's 3 options. Where would you like to get started?
Okay. So now you start with the trial pack, or do you start with full programs and close on the trial pack? Which way do you close?
I start with a trial pack.
Yeah.
And then I go to shake PDM, 2 shakes PDM and a tea. Or then just second option is shakes, PDM, and a small tea.
Okay.
The aloe, I never that will add on later, but I'll start with a shake, PDM, and thermo.
Okay. All right.
That's my 3 options.
Okay. And do you have a number with ratios?
I think And this stage, the last 2 months been great. I haven't got the numbers in front of me how much, but everybody much converted. Like I've got 15 new customers. Yeah. So, and everybody went the same route. So.
Okay. So everybody upgraded to the full program.
Yeah, because I just learned, now when I skip the 3-day trial, my people, when they get started, will skip the 3-day trial. They're not as strong and not the knowledge maybe, and then they sort of lose that person. Okay. So I just went back beginning of Jan, doing first a 3-day trial and then add them on. And when
you go to 6 days, you do 3 days, get them to get the result within 3 days, and then you upgrade.
Okay. Then upgrade them for a month supply, yes, of the 21-day challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Baie goed. Baie dankie. Dankie, Magda. Okay, so Amarie, I know that you're doing wellness evaluations much within groups with the boot camps. Do you want to share what you do to get the people? Sometimes it's not always one-on-ones, but you can share both for me, please. What you do on a one-on-one and what do you do on the groups to get people to once with the evaluations? Maybe you're adding something in, it's all about getting tips. A lot of people know the basics of the wellness evaluation, but it's sometimes just 1 or 2 liners that you add in that makes a difference.
I don't think mine is very special. I think I just do it like we do it. I usually like to scan everyone. I know a lot of people do not scan, but I like to scan because then I've got stats in front of me and I've got numbers. So at the boot camps, we usually scan everyone and we tell them at the end of the boot camp, we are going to explain all the stats together. So everybody sits with that little paper and then we go through each and every one. I usually say, my line is, please don't look at your weight. That is something that's really, we just don't look at weight. Sometimes they even scratch it out because that can be everything. So then I tell them, mark these 4 things. I usually look at the body fat, the muscle, the water, and the visceral. So those 4 we look at. And then I just explain the ideal ranges of all of them. And with muscle, there is an ideal range, but the more we have, the better it is for your body and easier it is to maintain your weight afterwards. And and then I usually work out the water with them, so how much water they have to drink, and I show them the little formula. And then we usually one-on-one, we show them the picture of that unhealthy visceral fat and the healthy visceral fat. That's usually very shakes them up because they actually realize what they're doing to the insides of their body. And they always freak out about their metabolic age, which is quite funny. And so that's usually what we did. And I measure every second week. I never measure every week because every second week there's such a big difference. And I've seen, and it's so weird that sometimes there's very little changes in the Tanita scanner, but there's like 20 or 15 centimeters lost. So then every week they feel motivated by something.
So you do measure everybody at every time, because the measurement is very important.
My one-on-one people, I always measure them from the start, and I measure everything. I measure the one arm, the one leg, the waist, the chest, the hips, the everything. And so that's usually awesome. So 1 week I've seen that they don't lose a lot of centimeters, or I only measure every second week. So the 1 week they may not lose a lot of body fat or not gain enough muscle, whatever to their expectations. But then if they look at their centimeters, then they feel encouraged again. So then they've got boom off for the next week.
Okay, fabulous.
I think.
Thank you, Amariki. And okay, so just to get to your close. So now everybody's got the fear factor there with them and seeing that to make changes. What do you
do they
most of them take trial packs? What do you promote, the trial pack or the pencil, the portrait
pencil bag? I promote packs, Dit lyk soos 'n potloodsak. Ek het nog nooit daaraan gedink. I do promote what I do is while I do the stats, then I always tell them how to change it. So if we do the body fat, then I say how to change the body fat is, while I'm doing it, is drinking more water, eating more protein during the day, and we've got this amazing shake that adds the protein, and the tea helps to break down the fat. So with every stat that I give, I always give the Herbalife side, which says, the Herbalife solution, and other solutions as well. So like snacking throughout the day, then I will give them an example of a snack that's not a Herbalife snack usually. So then by the muscle mass, I tell them about the shake and about recovering properly, and by the visceral, obviously about the tea or the Thermocomplete, and so that's how hydration, the aloe, and the hydrate.
Oh, fabulous. Dankie, Amourie. Then I want to ask Peter and Sandra. They're doing an online challenge now. So how do you do the wellness evaluation with people that's not actually with you physically? Because we have a lot of people that doesn't always have the time to do a wellness evaluation physically, get the person on the scale and so on. What do you guys do to do the wellness evaluation with somebody that's not physically with you?
Elsa, what we usually do is basically the same steps as Magda explained. What do you have for breakfast? That's our approach. Change their breakfast, and also to measure themselves. Within themselves over areas they want to lose some fat, because that's we want to help them with, and so that they can see if there's any progress in that area.
Okay, and so do you give them specific ways, sort of with a picture or something of how they should measure themselves, or do you just keep it for them to find their own way?
Elsa, we usually look where they have problems. They will tell you where they have problems. It's no use in measuring somebody's ankle when they don't have a problem with the ankle. Then you get the next customer who specifically has a problem with ankles. But I want to also mention something else. We found that we need to measure both arms, both thighs, if they want to be measured just below the knees, both of them, because I have experienced with one specific customer that there was a 6 centimeter difference between the two legs just below the knees, especially if you have people who are really overweight. So it's just, by just measuring one arm or one leg, and it's always the same one, you will find that very few people are symmetrically, how can I say, hulle omvang om al twee arms is omtrent oor die stel en there will always be a centimeter or something different, just for their own sake, because they want to see every single centimeter.
Okay. So and so they more measure, you're working more on measurements than really scale, or because they don't have a fancy scale. So you're working more on measurements than actually weight.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we also teach our people that you must never become a slave of the scanner. If you sell your soul to the scanner, you become its slave, and it can steal, it can rob you from your joy. But we do use the scanner, and I'm sorry, I was not, ek was nie die hele tyd hierso by nie. Jy praat oor afstand. Yeah. Yes, the measurements is a way of them to monitor themselves.
And you do, when you're doing the challenge, when people are not with you, do you work with weekly pictures, or do you only do a beginning and an end picture?
No, on the Facebook challenge, we measure them. Actually, we don't measure at all, because the Facebook challenge, the whole judgment, die beoordeling, vind plaas via photographs.
Okay.
we take the photos from the front and from the side and from the back before and then again afterwards to give everybody the same chance. That's why we don't use the measurements or the readings at all.
Okay.
My niece from South Korea can take place and be judged by it's the photo. You will judge according to the best result, visible result of transformation. We're working on a body transformation, not weight loss. Okay. Because if you focus on weight loss, they go on a diet and they lose all their muscle. And that's not what we want to do. We focus on teaching them, guys, this is not a diet. It is not herbal diet. It is Herbalife. It's a way that you can be your best shape for the rest of your life.
Okay, fabulous.
Does that answer you?
Yeah. No, okay, that's brilliant. But also, can I ask, do you do the questionnaire on how they're currently eating and let them to do also a food log for you, or don't you do that? Just, I know I'm talking more about the challenge now and we're busy with weight loss or wellness evaluations, but I think it is important for people that's not always physically with somebody to understand that they can do a wellness evaluation with somebody without them, having to be on a scale next to them.
Yes. Yeah, we do. We don't have a specific questionnaire when they enter into the Facebook challenge, because daily we make posts on the challenge on what today should look like, and then when it gets to breakfast, we will say, this is a picture of my shake. I made my shake with this and this and this, and the other one will say, but I made my shake like this, and then it gets to snack time, and we will encourage them to place photos of their snacks, and they will start learning from each other. Hi, I didn't know that you can do this for a snack, and that's how we train them over the period of 21 days.
Okay, fabulous. We'll definitely do a call with more detail on that. Dankie julle twee. Thank you so much. Karina, do you guys want to add something on wellness evaluations? I know you're also working with lots of with groups, maybe a line to close with all your wellness evaluations that you're doing around the boot camps.
Yeah, hi, it's Howard here. I like to find out what they're eating, and then I always explain to them about these lots of diets out there. They can get a diet from the UU magazine. They can go on the carrot diet, the cabbage diet, and they will lose weight. But then I tell them they must remember their weight is made up mostly of water, muscle, fat, and bones. And they will lose everything. They're going to lose all their muscle. And after a month, they're going to eat like crazy, and they're going to pick it all up again. That's yo-yo dieting. And then they all understand that. They all have heard about yo-yo dieting.
I've done it.
Yeah. And then when we do the Tanita, we have the amount of muscle in the body. That's not a percentage. That's the actual weight of the muscle. So if the muscle is 48.
We lost you now, Howie. We can't hear you. Howard. Hello.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
A little bit? Yeah. Okay, you're back?
Yeah, so I explained to them if their muscle weighs 48 kilograms, they need 96 grams of protein. They need double the muscle mass in protein. And where are they going to get it from? What they're eating now is not going to give it to them. They're going to end up with rolls of loose skin. What we have in Herbalife is high quality protein. It's almost 98% pure. It's going to do, and I explained, and I'm very strong on the protein.
Yeah.
Telling them how much protein they need. And the only place they can really get it is from the shake. They can't get it anywhere else. They're going to have to eat too much meat and fish and chicken to get that amount of protein in.
Yeah, with that amount of calories, yes. And also explaining the one thing that I also that I think is very important is to explain to them that their body only absorbs 25 to 30 grams at a time, because a lot of people, when you're doing their questionnaire, they're hardly eating enough protein through the day. They have a broodjie and a little toastie, and they have rusk and a coffee in the morning. And when they when they get to the end of the day, they're having this big piece of steak and they think, okay, now I've had 300 gram steak and I'm done for the day. So I think just again, bringing them into that reality that it's not the weight of the food, but it's actually the amount of protein in the food that is the important thing to understand, and that your body only absorbs so much at a time. And that is why it's so important to spread it throughout the day. So I think that's also always a line that I use to explain to them that you need to have your 5 smaller meals. You need to have, this is where the shakes come in. It's so easy to have your breakfast shake, then have a snack. Lunchtime, you can have a salad or a shake, or a 4 o'clock shake, especially if you're exercising, having half the shake before the time, half when you come back. So that you don't have the muscle pain, and then you won't be that hungry when you get to your evening meal, which I always call the suicide hour. And I always, when I do the questionnaire as well, I prompt them, so I don't just leave them to write those little questions in, because I say to them, what do you do while you're cooking? What about that glass of wine, those biscuits, those cheese, all that food that you put in your mouth, that you're standing and you're not counting? All of it counts, not just the stuff that you eat while you're sitting down, but everything that you're nibbling, a little bit here, that unconscious eating that you're doing throughout the day. And when your body feels satisfied with the right amount of nutrition that you're getting from the shake, you won't be this nibbler that's looking for something that has the sweet tooth, etc. So, just a couple of little tips that you do throughout. And when I've done the questionnaire and I'm sitting down with them now, once that they've given me the information. So this is why I like to have the questionnaire. And as I'm talking to them afterwards, explaining their numbers from the Tanita, I refer back to what they told me. And it's like I get them to participate with me. You see, you're not drinking enough water. There you're having a rusk for breakfast. Lunchtime you're having a sandwich. You've only eaten carbs, carbs, carbs. Where's your protein for the day? This is where the shakes makes it so easy for you to get into it, and just make it very simple. So I think that's also part of it. And also because the costing is another thing. Within the explanation of, we're probably going to run out of time, guys. But so if I lose you, it's no problem. I will see you all this weekend at the LDW. I'm so super excited. We've got more than 40 people coming. So let me just finish with this close, that I explained to them that it's very important for them to understand that the value that they're spending on their food, their spend, etc., the shake only comes out to either 16 Rand a meal, 18 Rand a meal if you're taking the normal 21-day meal. But let's start with a trial pack. Let's see, you want to lose weight, let's do the 3-day trial. You want to just be healthier, let's go with the 6 days. So I don't always put everybody on the 3-day. Some people I just gradually get into it. They're not ready for weight loss. They want to be healthier. So you will probably choose, we all differ maybe on that line, but I sometimes like to get people just to have that gradual change and get used to the shakes and then go to weight loss. But it's totally your choice what you want to do. But I think what we're going to do now is to finish off about wellness valuations. We've got this amazing weekend coming up with Quentin Revoir, and we're all super, super excited. I'm so excited. We're going to have more than 40 people in Cape Town at the event. And on Saturday evening, we're going to have the team. We're going to go to the waterfront for a nice little cocktail. I'm going to confirm the venue tomorrow. I'm going to go through, because the place where I wanted to go, I thought we will be around 20, but now I found out we're around 40. So I'm very, very excited. This weekend's going to be so, I'm telling you, we're going to be completely out of our skin. So next week, Monday night, we'll definitely have an amazing feedback call. But I'm so looking forward to, because I will be seeing most of you this weekend here at the LGW in Cape Town. And as I said, it's the first time ever in 23 years we have a sold-out event. We've never had that before. So, and I know that Quentin is definitely going to be delivering, and I've seen the lineup for the weekend. Remember, Friday afternoon starts at 12 for everybody that's done 2.5 by 3. Friday evening, we're going to go to the party and be dressing up and looking gorgeous in our Paris outfits. So we're much looking forward to that. Saturday morning, we're starting at 10. I would advise you guys to be there early, anytime from 9 o'clock, 8:30. I think the doors will open. We probably will have quite a long day on Saturday, because it's completely packed up with so much stuff. Saturday evening we'll have the cocktail function straight after that, and then Sunday morning we're starting at 9, and I think we'll be finishing around 4. As soon as I've got the schedule on my hands, I will definitely post it on the groups. But thank you for everybody that's helped us and shared tonight with some ideas around wellness evaluations. And it all starts there. Very important to get that person to open up about themselves, and once they're opening up, that's when they open the door for you, that they can see you care and you really want to make a difference for them, and that they can get brilliant results. So it doesn't always have to be fancy with already printed forms. You can take a blank piece of paper and a measuring tape, and you can really do it so simple, but it's all about them and their needs, and then giving them the solution. So thank you again for everybody that's participated. I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys this weekend. You got Karina and Howie, and Serena gaan afkom van Harry Smith af. Sy gaan ons kom join. Wow. She's already she's also staying with me. So we're going to be really having a fantastic time. So thank you guys. Have a lovely, lovely rest of the evening, rest of the week. I'll see you all on Friday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Ice.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
And you, Michael.
Bye-bye.